B, these are not the bad guys.
Why did you cut the door?
Wait, no, it was already like that, right?
Yes, that's right.
Yes.
It was. Yeah, it was already like. Yeah.
Joe Deckelmeyer, Screen Rant. Transformers 1, I think, is my favorite Transformers film on the big screen that I've seen yet. I think it does such a great job of, letting us old school Transformers fans have something to enjoy from it. And I think it does a great job of having new Transformers fans get introduced to the franchise. Lorenzo, is Transformers 1 considered a prequel to the recent movies of Bumblebee and Rise of the Beast, or the original live action film starting in 2007? Or is it something completely, entirely new?
Well, it obviously exists beforehand. I think we figured it out. It was like 300 million years before the first Michael Bay movie. So if that's a prequel, that's a prequel. But we're really following the lore about where it starts, and so we really just think about it as the beginning of the story, the origin, yes, but really literally the beginning of the thing that we've all come to appreciate.
I love that. Josh, I feel your Transformers fandom right on that screen. I feel like this is a Transformers film made by a Transformers fan for Transformers fans while not alienating anybody new. And I think you did such a great job of balancing two origin stories in there with Orion and D16. Can you talk about what excited you the most about exploring Optimus Prime and Megatron's origin stories in this film?
Well, first of all, thank you. I mean, that's everything you said there is correct. I mean, the relationship between these two characters is what got me on board immediately. It's the most human story we've ever told with these characters, which is what I loved, the opportunity to take advantage of that. And these characters that we know and love as enemies, and we've seen all the different versions where they're coming head to head, to be able to go back and go, here's something you've never seen on screen, and that it's not what you thought. And that's what I love hearing from the fans and from anybody that's seen the movie so far. They're like, this is not what I thought it was going to be. Some people was like, I had no idea this existed, this relationship existed. And so, I mean, just as a filmmaker, to show somebody something new and go like, I had no idea that I needed to see this, is always really satisfying.
I think, what's interesting is, for some, having worked on all the movies, I, for the first time in a way, understand Optimus Prime and Megatron,
Yeah.
and I think it's true for anybody else when they experience this story. It's like, oh, I'm gonna feel differently about Megatron, and I'm gonna feel differently about Optimus from here on in.
Look, I'm going to tell you right now, Lorenzo, coming out of that movie, I think Megatron is my favorite Transformer of all time now, because I understand the character now. Now, Lorenzo, where do you see the Transformers franchise going in the future? Because obviously there was a big tease. Like, I'm a G.I. Joe fan. I got their Rashikage there. There's a big tease between
Nice.
G.I. Joe and Transformers. Where do you see the robots in disguise going next?
Well, there's going to be two things. Well, number one, we're going to be, if we're successful with this movie, we're going to do a sequel for this. And we already have I think, the beginnings of a really interesting story for the second one, which is also character-based the way the first. Live action, we are going to deliver a G.I. Joe crossover. I hesitate using the word crossover because I think people think different things what that means. For me, what it means is the Joes are going to be in the Transformers world and be present. We're still trying to figure out, I think every movie is a sort of a balancing act of like, how much do you have this? And, in this movie, like, how funny can we be? How serious? How do you cross that line? How do you hide the villain? All those sort of balancing things that you're doing. We're still in the early process in a way of trying to figure out the balance.
Incredible. Josh, last question for you is, when did you have your pinch me moment? I'm working on a Transformers movie.
Wow. Honestly, probably every single day, is because I get to see amazing work from in voice, the voice cast, like the animators, everybody, like every step of the way, you get to see these bits and pieces that are being put together that will eventually become the full movie. But this is why I think the director has the best job, because I get to see everything as it's being made. And every step of the way was like, that's so cool. This is so cool. But the very first one was probably meeting Lorenzo and him going like, we have to make this. We're going to do this. And I was like, yeah, we're going to do this.
Look, gentlemen, in that movie theater, I don't think I stopped smiling for the full hour and a half. So thank you guys so much. It's an incredible
Great.
film.
Thank
Can't
you.
wait for everyone to see it. Thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks.
I like your logo.
Yes, sir. Screen Rant, baby.
It's a good logo.
It is.
I'm not talking to you. You know what? We are so screwed.
Thought you weren't talking to me.